Checking our calendar, we've got NASCAR Now coming up next right here on ESPN2 after we get finished with this 300-mile race. The NASCAR Nationwide Series, the Aaron's 312 at Talladega, will be on ABC next Saturday starting at 2:30 Eastern. And please do the rain dance to keep it all away. We don't want to do this again for a while. All right, there was a lot of confusion on pit road involving a couple of teams. Let's take you back and show you what happened as there's the tire that came off of Jeremy Clement's car, and it got out into the pit road. And watch how close
Landon Castle almost catches it.
So Landon Castle avoids it there. Here's another view of it. We can also tell you the 38 of Jason Leffler had a lug nut missing, so they are going to get penalized. That's the last thing that team needed. They're trying to turn their season around. Let's reset it for you. It's Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Carl Edwards, Clint Boyer, Jamie McMurray, and Kevin Harvick. That is your top 6. Pace car pulls down, and our race leader decided to take the inside line as we go back to green flag racing. Justin Allgaier high there, but he gets it wrestled back in. Both times what we've seen there. 22 of Brad Keselowski is slowing down the backstretch into 3. He's getting passed there by Landon Castle.
It actually looks like Brad just got kind of high on the restart and got a lot of that rubber built up on his tires. Had to get it off. Now he's back in line, back under power, looking good now. But boy, that was a scary moment for Keselowski. Got awful high there.
He was 12th. He's dropped to 18th.
Tell you what, Andy, I really thought the top side of this racetrack is burned in now, but they're all running on the bottom and forcing that rubber up top, and it's not burned in yet like it needs to be.
Greg Biffle looking to crack into the top 10 as he is 10th, trying to go for 9th around Menard.
He's done it the hard way, too. Now, he's passed a lot of cars. He started dead last because he wrecked actually qualifying, so he has passed a ton of cars, got a fast one.
And as we always seem to realize, it gets a little harder the closer to the front you get. But right now he is side by side, and it looks like he may get a chance to clear him. And yes, so now move him into 9th. Here comes Justin Allgaier trying to punch his way back into the top 10. Trevor Bayne right behind him as well, on board with Allgaier.
Now, this is what I really like. The top side of this track we talked about off of turn 4 before our show started. Look at that momentum. It looks like he's almost got 50 more horsepower. Catches that 98 car in the straightaway, barreling down him on it right now, and you'll see a lot of that throughout the race because the top side, I think, is where you're going to need to pass these cars late in this race.
Well, what I'm seeing here also is, can Justin run that low line when he needs to? And it looks like the answer is yes.
You can see Paul Menard now using that momentum Rusty talked about. When that upper groove has as much grip as it does now, it does come in to be the preferred groove. And you see right here, even though this 12 car is extremely fast, Paul Menard is able to use that momentum.
We can tell you while all this great action is going on, Kevin LePage has pulled down pit road. We'll tell you also that David Gilliland has taken it behind the wall as well. So we have 3 cars off, and now the 56 makes the turn, so now 4 out of this race. Reed Sorensen, Stephen Wallace, that's a battle right now for 7th on the racetrack. And here comes Greg Biffle knocking on Wallace's door.
Well, it looks like Stephen's car is loose right now. I see the back of the car really wobbling around a lot. They might have made a chassis adjustment that last time, got the car a little too loose, but when I see the back moving around, it looks like it's air pressure or something like that.
Yeah, if I'm his crew chief, I'm saying, hey, just kind of calm down here a little bit. This will come to you. This is a tire that's getting tighter and tighter as you run. So if the car's a little loose now, just be calm, be smooth, and it'll come to you.
Dave, what's the latest on the 66s? He's just gotten past.
Just tell you exactly what the car was like before they pitted. Loose into the corner. That was the biggest condition. A little tight in the center. They made a wedge and an air pressure adjustment for it, but it still doesn't look like it's under him to where he's really comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like he's just moving around a little bit too much. Not very comfortable to drive. And so, Andy, I totally agree with you. He's just got to settle down, and he looks like he's doing that now, and just let these air pressures build up. That'll make the car feel better.
The 90 of Danny O'Quinn has pulled it behind the wall. Let's get an update on what happened to the 22. Jamie?
Well, Brad Keselowski right now 17th. On that last pit stop, he said he was a little bit loose in 3 and 4, so they decided to put scuffed tires on it. So that, in turn, made the car feel a little bit different. Brad came on the radio and said, I feel like I bottomed out, guys, and his crew said, we didn't see any sparks. Just hang on.
He right now is running in 16th position after getting around young Mr. Buscher. His next target would be Colin Brown, another of the rookie crop, who is running 15th. You just saw him there out the left side. There he is in the 16th. Meanwhile, up front, it's a 1-second lead for Kyle Busch. And remember, Kyle is going to try and equal some NASCAR history, becoming the third to win 5 straight at the same track. There he is, heading down the backstretch. Welcome back to the NASCAR Nationwide Series here at Texas. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Out front, Kyle Busch by 2.1 seconds. As he has got the pedal to the metal right now. A little bit further back, the action was getting a little bit interesting. As you can see, that group of cars coming towards us right now. That is 10th place, and you've got a 3-car battle going for it. You've got Stephen Wallace, Paul Menard, David Rudiman. Rudiman looking underneath the Menard. Here we go. And up in front of them is Justin Allgaier. He's tried to pull away from him.
Yeah, Justin started working the top side of that track, came off the bottom, went to the top, and it looked like it really helped him. Now you got the 2 guys behind Stephen pretty well locked up side by side. And, boy, when you're side by side around this racetrack, it really will slow your speeds down.
Get a great view there. As you can see, Allgaier starting to stretch it out. And look at that side-by-side action that you were just talking about as Menard moves ahead, but can he hold it as we head down in towards turn 1? They're still going to be door-to-door. It's allowing Stephen to pull up some ground. Can he clear? No. Here comes Menard. That high line working for him.
Well, when you get locked down the bottom of that racetrack, I mean, your car just gets loose. It doesn't feel good. And you see these 2 guys trying to get away from each other right now to let the aerodynamics take over and get working better. But when you're that close, man, these cars get real unstable.
Rudiman was running 7th in the Cup race earlier today. He blew an engine after lap 310. Let's get more. Dave Burns.
Marty, I talked to Paul Menard's crew chief, Matt Pusha, about this 98 car here this weekend. Now, as Rudiman gets the spot and Menard moves back, he told me one thing they learned here last year, made a big mistake, started the car neutral, it got too tight. We have to start a little freer. And Paul, at the beginning of this race, was in fact too free in clean air, so they made an adjustment on that first stop, air pressure, to try to bring him back just a little bit, but not so much that the car tightened up by the end of the run.
Paul Menard finished 5th in this race last season. His last top 5 finish. He's finished in the top 10 in 3 races so far this year. And that great 3-way battle, now that they got back into single file, they're starting to close back up on Stephen.
Yeah, it looks like Rudiman's got a real strong car, the number 10 car. It's just fast on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like Steve's trying to search around, move up to the top, and see if there's any grip up there. See if he can get his 5-hour energy car to run faster up there.
Getting real snug between all 3 of them. Menard trying to find a place to go, and he says, guys, I'm going to let you sort it out a little bit. Now he's got his opening if he can squeeze it between them.
You know, Marty, I don't know if you even noticed or not, but coming in right in the middle of turn 1 and 2, there's a big bump down there, and it's really upsetting a lot of these cars I'm seeing.
Yeah, so it looks like that Rudiman, though, in that 10 car, his car doesn't seem to be affected by that as much, and it's maybe one reason why he's able to work the bottom of the racetrack a little better than some of the other ones.
Now, Rudiman is running in 10th. 11th is Stephen Wallace, and 12th, Paul Menard. You're not missing a thing up front. Kyle Busch is in control, 2.1 seconds. So far, he has led 21 laps. The most laps led so far were Joey Logano with 28. We've had 3 different leaders. Tony Raines stayed out and led a lap during the mandatory caution.
Andy, we talked a lot about momentum, how these cars got to keep the momentum going. It's because they got a lot less horsepower, mostly than the Cup cars. About how much less horsepower do they have than Cup?